Hello, thank you so much for joining us for this week's Tune In Tuesday. I'm Deanna Peterson. I am currently past president of MOHEMA. I've been in health information management for 15 years now, and over the course of that time, I've had the pleasure of serving at the regional level, state level, and national level in various volunteer positions. I started at the regional level for Eastern Missouri, and I served a 3-year term as president-elect, president, and past president. I've worked with various MOHEMA committees, including the annual meeting committee. And of course, most recently, I'm finishing up my 3-year term as past president now. At the national level, I've served on practice councils, which include the Privacy and Security, as well as the Long-Term Post-Acute Care Practice Council. I have served as co-chairs, actually, of both of those practice councils. So it's truly been an honor these last 15 years to volunteer in so many wonderful positions, to meet so many incredible HIM professionals, and certainly encourage you to look into that if you haven't already. So I want to talk a little bit about the House of Delegates that occurred this past Saturday. It has been an honor to serve again as one of MOHEMA's delegates. We had a very active House of Delegates this year, and you'll hear from some fellow delegates here in just a moment about some of the many activities that occurred. But I want to talk just a little bit about a breakout session that I attended called The Future of Patient Matching and Identification. So we discussed a lot during this session, but mostly just want to stress that we know there's still work to be done to move towards that universal patient identifier. Unfortunately, we're likely going to continue to see some of the political challenges that have stood in the way to repealing the ban in the appropriations bill that's really kind of halting us from moving towards that universal patient identifier. But we know that HEMA, as well as health information management professionals, are continuing and will continue to push for that and hopefully lead that effort. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Kay, who's going to talk a little bit about some more from the House of Delegates. So Kay, take it away.
Thank you, Deanna. So yes, my name is Kay Folk, and I had the pleasure of serving as your alternate delegate to the House of Delegates. It was really kind of a deja vu experience because I'm actually a 45-year veteran of the HIM profession. I just celebrated my 45th anniversary this month, and I've been active in my prior state down in Texas. So I'd spent many years in the House of Delegates serving as a delegate in the past. It was a deja vu experience, and this, to Deanna's point, this was a very active House this year. So in the course of my career, I have been in a couple of key settings. I've managed a clinic, and I worked in IT for a number of years, and then ended up in education, which has been a phenomenal path for an HIM to now be able to give back and help prepare future HIM professionals. So in the House of Delegates, we ended up having some discussions. There was one bylaws amendment, and we'll be learning about others, but one bylaw amendment you should probably be aware of is that there's going to be new membership category. Before we had several different categories or levels of membership. Now we're breaking it down to 2. So there's only going to be 2 categories of membership. One is professional and the other is student. And within the professional level, there are a couple of statuses. One is Premier, sort of the heavy-duty advanced level of membership that you can pay additional for, but you get a lot of benefits from. And then the other one is the Emeritus, which you can qualify for after you reach the age of 65. So just be aware that that membership change is going to be happening. You do need to be timely in renewing your membership because there are some penalties associated with delayed membership renewal. Additionally, they're applying a new penalty for late reporting of CE, so be aware of that as well. So as soon as your cycle is coming to its end, get out there and get your CE reporting done so that you don't incur that additional cost. Another item that came up wasn't a bylaws amendment, but we were informed that the Engaged platform is going to be going away, and where it's going to be replaced by a new one called My Digital Health Space. It's very exciting because it's going to allow us to network with other health information professionals like Chimes and HIMSS and lots of the other organizations on this kind of a collaborative space. So just to be aware of that, that is going to mean that Engage is going to be going away. We don't know a lot yet how the Engage communities are going to translate over. We're hopeful that there's going to be like forums that you can subscribe to that allow you to continue to have those level of conversations that you've had in the past, but that's yet to be determined, so just kind of pay attention. But I did want to throw out that if there are some items out on the current Engage communities that you have relied on in the past, some resources, documents, that sort of thing, they will be being archived over into the HEMA library. But as you probably know, that search engine can sometimes be a little tricky. So if you want to be sure that you're going to be able to relocate those pieces of information down the road, you might want to just download them for your personal use. So there was so much going on. We were actually in the house for 7 hours. We couldn't begin to capsule everything that occurred during that time period, but it was a very thrilling experience. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your delegate. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Mary Lee.
Hello, I am Mary Lee Harlan Newberry, and I have 30 years in health information management. On Saturday, October 17th of this year, I was able to attend the House of Delegates meeting. I served as a delegate representing Missouri Health Information Management, and I am the current president-elect for 2020-21 term for Missouri Health Information. So thank you for having the confidence in electing me. I have served in several roles in our state and area HIM associations, including Director of Education, Vice President, President, and past President, as well as current President-elect. I had the pleasure to participate in some really good education and some meetings, and to be in a strategic planning breakout session that included a topic that we all are aware of right now, which is the COVID crisis. And the emphasis in the discussion that took place during my breakout session was very informative, and there was some really good educators as well as members that were present in this meeting that we heard a lot of information that was very particular and specific to the importance of coding and the accuracy of the coding, and how they take that data and they put it towards not only our hospitals and our health department, but the state level as well. The discussion included a lot of encouragement, a lot of information on why our role as HIM members and coders and specialty in the health information field is very important. At this time, I would like to introduce Clark Chafin, our current president of Missouri Health Information Management Board. Thank you.
Hello there. I'm Clark Chaffin, and I'm honored to serve as your president and delegate for MOHEMA. And I have worked in the HIM profession for over 25 years and served in a variety of roles throughout my career. I've also been involved in both the regional and state level for 23 of those years, and absolutely love it. I mean, I enjoy being involved in many levels. I've been president. This will be my second time as president for Missouri. I was younger the first time, so I've learned a lot through the whole process of being more seasoned in the field. And most recently, I finished my term with Ozark area, where I was past president. So I've gotten to be able to be involved both in the state and the regional level in some capacity. And it's really a great opportunity for people to get involved at all levels. So a little bit of background for me, I started in the career as a coder. I quickly moved up in the management, like a year within being a coder, and then director level. And so most of my career has been HIM management, and particularly in the area of coding. I've worked at small health systems and large health systems, and then done some consulting. So there's a variety of levels of jobs that are out there for us to do. So I've also managed non-traditional areas that people may not really think that they can do, but you can. There's a lot of knowledge that we have that actually dovetails into other areas. So I worked in a small hospital where I was in charge of the Cerner implementation, and they gave me the information technology job in addition to HIM because they said I did a better job than the person that was in charge of it. So I took over that role. And then in compliance and privacy, I did those roles at one time. And then utilization review and medical staff services, I headed those. So you can do other things outside the normal HIM. And so I'm proof of that. In my current role, I'm the system director that's in charge of clinical documentation integrity, coding, HIM, and utilization reviews for Cox Health here in Southwest Missouri. Busy place, and I know everyone's dealing with COVID, and it's a big ordeal for all of us. And so it's also rewarding because we're at the forefront of all the information with it, and we can keep it, the data integrity and the process of what's going on. So on Saturday, like the others had mentioned, I had the honor of serving on the House of Delegates, and it was representing Missouri. And in addition to myself, there was 5 of us that were there, and we all each took turns in our different strategic paths that they wanted us to kind of get involved with and try to formulate hypothesis on where our organizations should go and get more involved in. And the one that I was involved in was within revenue cycle and the HIM future of revenue cycle, how we're involved and what we should be involved in. Big discussions around AI and natural language processing, how it's changing the world that we live in to get data capture for coding and even CDI to be able to have that data to help them, because our workforce is aging, unfortunately, and I'm getting grayer. So, I mean, we're all aging, and we need to be able to find the tools that we need to help us do our job so we can still stay on top of what we're doing. We're not getting replaced by computers. We're taking our positions and reevaluating and reorganizing them to work with technology, not against it. So we need our professionals that work in the industry need to understand that they've got to be in the forefront of this. We've got to be at the table for them to understand the importance of HIM and how AI and natural language can help us, not take things away from us. So stay engaged, get involved, and we'll be doing a good job of moving HIM in the forefront still. The delegates, we did vote on 6 action items, which we're going to do an overview of that and provide it in an e-alert, because we know that we need to provide you the information as to what was voted and the language that goes with that. So we will be putting that at e-alert. I encourage you as a member to get involved either at the regional level or the state level in any capacity. You just ask. We're on the website. There's people that you know by contact. Get involved and ask if you want to get involved, even something small, just get involved, because it's rewarding at any level. You can help someone move this forward. The takeaway from the entire experience of being on the board is all the people that you meet and all the knowledge you share. I tell people all the time, where I am today because of people below me that mentored me that are now retired. I'm where I am today because of them. I had the spark, but I needed them to light it. So they did that, and that's what my job is now, is to move things forward. Again, I'm aging, and I need people below me to move up in the world. So we're here to help you, and we will do whatever we can to support you as a state. And if you want to reach out to any of us, you can get in touch with us through different mediums, the website or LinkedIn or Facebook. So thank you.